Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the India Cements Q2 and H1 FY24 earnings conference call hosted by PhillipCapital India Private Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Vaibhav Agarwal from PhillipCapital India Private Limited. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ray. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of PhillipCapital India Private Limited, we welcome you to the Q2 and H1 FY24 call of the India Cements Limited. On the call, we have with us the entire senior management team of the India Cements. I would like to mention on behalf of the India Cements Limited and its management that certain statements that may be made or discussed on this conference call may be forward-looking statements related to future developments and based on current expectations. These statements are subject to a number of risks, uncertainties, and other important factors that may cause actual developments and results to differ materially from the statements made. The India Cements Limited and the management of the company assumes no obligation to publicly alter or update these forward-looking statements, whether as a result of new information or future events or otherwise. I would now hand over the floor to Mr. N. Srinivasan, Vice Chairman and Managing Director of the company, for his opening remarks, which will be followed by interactive Q&A. Thank you, and over to you, Srinivasan, sir.
Thank you, Vaibhav. Thank you very much. The performance of the company continues to improve. If we look at the quarter under review, I think we should look at the quarter under review plus what can be a legitimate expectation. The company came under severe strain because of working capital problems, but yet the company has met all its obligations to creditors during the period. The prices of cement have firmed up during the period. During the quarter under review, there was firmness in demand, but it did not result in prices going up. But during this quarter, the quarter that we are going through, the prices have gone up and the prices are reasonably firm with its consequent result. The demand for cement is reasonable in certain parts of India, north and other, and maybe even the east. The demand is the capacity, the utilization is quite high. In the south, with capacity overhang so high, still the capacity utilization is something to be desired. But having said that, I also want to say that infrastructure spending, which so far has been restricted to the North India, has come south. As a result of it, demand in the south also has picked up, and with the arrival of infrastructure spending in this place, we expect that the demand to go up with a consequential increase in prices also. Prices will be firm, as a result of which a lot of things can get corrected. One problem we had during this quarter was that we could have sold more if we had better working capital. Our working capital, the constraints imposed by the working capital management forced the company to sell less than they otherwise would have. But still, under the circumstances, the performance has been quite good. To sum up, I think the worst period, starting with the COVID to now, is over. We can look forward to better days with good demand, firm prices. I'll be happy to respond to any questions.
Thank you very much. We will now begin with the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask questions may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use only handsets while asking a question. The first question is from the line of Amit Murarka from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity. After quite a long time, we have seen finally cement price hikes coming through in the southern markets. I just wanted to understand, how sustainable do you think this increase can be, given that we have seen ups and downs in cement prices? That's the first question, actually.
I did not understand your question completely. Can you repeat?
So I was saying cement prices have gone up in southern markets in October after quite a long gap. So just wanted to understand the sustainability of this price hike.
You see, South has always been an area where the production is more than the demand. It is only now that infrastructure spending is coming south. This has resulted in an overall increase in demand, and companies which are operating at higher capex than earlier. So, in my opinion, the increased demand will continue, and along with it, they will the present firm price regime will continue.
Sure. And demand, generally in the last couple of months, the demand has seemed to be softening in south versus what we saw in the first half of the calendar year. So is it a temporary thing, or how to read that?
Demand has not softened. This is the general holiday season. See, we have Dasara, then we have Diwali. See, people look forward to this part of the year to go off, to rest, to do what they want. So I don't attribute the fall in demand, if at all, the prices of real estate, prices of built houses are still very, very high. And according to me, if you see a glitch, it is temporary.
Actually, I'm surprised because our numbers show that the demand has been good and is growing at more than 10 double digits in South.
Yeah, no, I mean, the growth rate was almost 20% or so in the first half. It seems to have, it's still good, but I mean, the number seems to have gone down to close to 10%. So in that
It's a base effect, but otherwise the demand is reasonably good in South. In fact, we normally see a lower growth during this period, but it has been quite okay. Till now, so far, that's what it's okay.
Got it. And any update on that, your expansion plans and the deleveraging plans, the land bank sale and all that?
You see, we originally wanted to set up a plant in Dambo in Madhya Pradesh. We gave because of working capital, because of the cost, we stepped back, and then we were hit by the COVID. So as a result of it, our plans have changed a little. Only of land sale.
Yeah. So we have sold. You are aware that we have sold a parcel of land in Vizag, which we have not accounted for in this quarter, but we have sold it. Advances have come, and we, as you know, that selling land is not as easy because we should get the right price for the land which we are going to sell. So it is something which is an ongoing process. Rather than when we get a good deal, we are going to sell for the land. That is whatever we told in the last quarter result time. The same thing stands. We were looking for the right buyer at the right price. That's how it stands.
Sure. Thanks. I'll come back in the queue.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to participants that you may press star and 1 to join the question queue. The next question is from the line of Prateek Kumar from Jefferies. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. And again, so you mentioned prices have strengthened and they are now reasonably strong.
Your voice is echoing a bit. I'm not able to hear you.
Prateek, if you're on a hands-free, I request you to use the handset. We can't hear you very clearly.
Yes. Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was saying that prices have gone up, and you said they are reasonably strong still. So historically, we have, I know that the contribution of cement in construction of houses, etc., is low, but strangely enough, the Builders Association have revolted more in South than anywhere else in the country on the price increase. This time around, it doesn't seem to be happening. So all that rebuttals are like sort of settled now and unlikely to come.
Are you asking whether there will be any cap on cement prices?
I think the builders will object to this. I will put it differently. The way it is that the prices which we have reached now is still lower than what we used to have a year and a half back. So we had everything else is gone on still at least 30, 40. See, for example, Chennai prices used to be 440, 450 rupees. Then what you were saying, maybe some people let go to press another thing. Today, even after increase, we are still at 400 rupees, and therefore there is a lot of headroom for us to increase prices further. We'll see as we go along. So that is what that's the reason why nobody is making any noise about it.
Okay. So that problem should not come forward. So only if for the reasons of competitive intensity, the prices come back, or otherwise not because of the
price. But I want to add that in a construction, 20% is the cost of cement. What about the other? See, today, the flat prices, built up buildings are going up very high. Compared to that, cement is very subdued. And really, it is not the contributor to the increase in the flat prices.
Right. Absolutely agree, sir.
Half of that per square feet, and the square feet rate in Chennai is nothing less than 10,000 rupees per square feet. So 200 rupees per square feet, nobody will. They should not. Logically, they should not make a price, but then anyway, okay.
Right. And what would be our volume for the quarter and other details around paid income and windmill income?
Which one? Yeah.
Shipping was 5.6 crores with an EBITDA of 1 crore. Windmill was 10.6 crores with an EBITDA of 8.6 crores. RMC was 28.6 crores with an EBITDA of 1.3 crores.
And the cement volumes, the volumes for the quarter for the company?
23.70 lakh tons total.
Sure, sir. These are my questions. I'll get back.
Thank you. Before we take the next question, a reminder to participants that you may press star and 1 to join the question queue. The next question is from the line of Parth Bhavsar from Investec. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. So thank you for the opportunity. Sir, last quarter and last few calls, we've been talking about some of the operating efficiencies that we were planning to bring in. So is there any update on the same? Where are we over there?
The update is that the experts have studied our plants. They have suggested remedies. They have suggested improvements, which are being, we are, I say, work in progress.
So, sir, what sort of capex can this entail, and what sort of cost savings this would bring in?
See, we have been assured that at least 250 rupees per ton will be the reduction in variable costs. At the same time, the cost is not very much. I don't know if you're a technical person, but I am prepared to explain to you.
Okay. And sir, can we put any timeline on this? Like, by when can we expect this to come in?
12 months. 10 to 12 months.
Okay. And the things we've started already incurring capex on, right?
See, we are looking at the low-hanging fruit. First is without much capex. Our capex will be on the coolers, and in case we change a vertical roller mill in one of the plants. As we go along, as we receive the money which we have advanced as it come back, I mean, it's an ongoing progress, and we are quite happy to report every quarter.
Okay. And sir, just one bookkeeping question. I wanted to know what was the fuel consumption cost for the quarter on kcal basis?
2.08 per kcal.
04.
04 per kcal.
2.04
per kcal.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Those are my questions.
Thank you. Participants may press star and 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Saket Kapoor from Kapoor and Company. Please go ahead.
Namaskar, Srinivasan ji. Namaskar team. And sir, firstly,
if you could give us the trade and the non-trade mix number for this quarter and the first half. And sir, when you are speaking that, when you are articulating to the fact that infrastructure thrust has moved to south, can you pinpoint the key projects or the states where you are seeing the activities picking up, or whether these are irrigation projects, whether these are housing, where is the incremental demand that you just articulated to is popping up?
Demand, Mr. Rakesh Singh will answer. Your other question, Mr. Venkateswaran will answer.
58% was a non-trade, trade sales. The balance was non-trade. And the demand for real estate, that what you call housing, individual housing, remains very steady, around between 50 to 55%. But the areas where the growth is coming in is basically infra projects like metro and road. These are two things which is a lot of activities happening in south, especially Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and Karnataka. These are the places a lot of these things are happening. Low-cost housing is happening, is driving a demand a little bit in Andhra. And generally, growth around Hyderabad is what is driving the growth in Telangana. This is how I can define south.
And sir, the EBITDA per ton for this quarter and for the first half?
EBITDA per ton.
EBITDA per ton for the quarter. EBITDA per ton for the quarter was around 51 rupees. For the quarter around 59 rupees, and for the first half it is around 51.
Okay, and what should be the likelihood with the improvement as anticipated? What should H2 look like, sir? And for I think for the quarter the volume was 2.3 million as mentioned. So what was the first half volume and what are we anticipating for H2?
The first half volume was 50.4 actually, 50.4 lakh tons.
See, we expect around 55 lakh tons in the second half of the time, or second half lakh, 55.
52 lakhs.
That was last year, but going forward we are expecting around 55 to 60 lakh tons of cement to be sold. And we can't be making a statement of how it will look in the future, but you can be sure that the variable cost will come down and the prices should remain steady at this level.
Sir, I think for the first two quarters, for H1 we have been booking cash loss. So how are we funding these cash losses?
So in the first half, we have recovered advances to the extent of almost 200 crores. Plus, also we have sold. Plus, we have also sold some land. You must have read in the papers, and it's also what was talked about by our MD in the initial opening remarks. Ultratech, we have sold some land for which we have received the money also. That is there as a part of the notes. We have been managing it. Totally, we had about 250 crores of extra money, 240 crores of money came.
Okay, and just two more questions. Firstly, for the capital work in progress, that has moved up from 313 closing number for March to 371 crores. So if you could give us some color where
particularly with regard to cement mill 7 in Shastanagar, which is to be capitalized in the month of October.
Didn't get you, sir.
So this is with regard to cement mill 7, which has been additional expenditures on cement mill 7.
Vertical rolling mill we have put in Shankanagar, or the first factory, and that will get capitalized in the month of October.
So balance represents the waste heat recovery, purchase, etc. in other plants.
Okay, sir. Total, what will be our capacity for the WHRS, sir, and the net debt number and the cost of funds?
8 megawatts. WHRS capacity is 8 megawatts. It is in the working process also.
No, there is 8 megawatt plant in Vishnupuram and 8 megawatts is work in progress in Chilampur.
Yes.
Total 15 megawatts.
Yes.
Of which 8 is working, 8 is in progress.
8 is work in progress. What you see in work in progress, I think part of it is because of that.
Okay. And the net debt number and the cost of funds?
2,807 crores is the total debt at 23, and cost of funds will be 9.85%.
9.85%.
85%.
Okay, sir. Lastly, Mr. Srinivasan, your voice was muffled and you don't. Just a personal question: are you in the best of health, sir? Unable to hear you also properly today. In your opening remark, also we could find your voice being stammered and muffled. So, is it question with the line or any health, sir? They just got worried about the health part. Very sorry to be personal. But I hope you are doing.
Maybe he was away from the microphone. I think we'll take care of it. What happened?
Thank you, sir. That's all.
Thank you. Participants who wish to ask a question, please press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. The next question is from Ritesh Shah from Investec Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, sir. 2 quick questions. Sir, first is you indicated fuel cost on a consumption basis for this quarter, I think at 2.04. Sir, how should we look at this number for the quarter ahead? And if you can highlight if you have any inventory for petcoke or coal, and what is the average costing over there?
The cost for the current quarter was around 2 rupees 4 paise per kcal, and we expect that run to continue till December, approximately.
Sure. This is helpful. And second question is, sir, how should we look at the cement prices on north of south and south of south? Are there significant trends, or the price increases what you are hearing about nearly 50 rupees per bag? Is it across the entire 4 or 5 southern states?
More or less. Everywhere we have got an increase of 50 rupees at least. So, just like this, I understand what you're coming from. Maybe the increase which was planned which what we initially started in Telangana was a little higher. But in real terms, the increase, what we get in the marketplace is around 50-60 rupees in all the states. Maybe it was in Kerala, it was little less.
Sure, sir. And the last question...
your company has got 50 rupees increase.
Okay.
For this month, October.
Okay. And sir, how should we understand this price increase? Is it on to offset the cost inflation, or are we looking at spread expansion into, say, Q3 and Q4 if it's sustained?
See, the price increase is much needed because the costs went through the roof with on the back of coal prices. So ultimately, finally, the price of cement has gone up to offset the costs that had been incurred. As a result of which, some kind of balance is being struck.
Sure, sir. And sir, last question, sir, would it be possible for you to quantify how much is the flash and slag procurement rate? Is there very significant inflation that we are seeing over here? That's also one of the reasons for the cement price increases?
We don't, in south, if you see, except for a small pocket of Vizag area, slag is not used much. It is a fly ash which is normally goes into blended cement, and that cost is more or less in line with the contractor rate. Only the availability became an issue in between. Otherwise, cost is, I won't say there's a major difference coming out of that.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. I wish you all the very best. Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants who wish to ask a question, please press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. The next question is from Saket Kapoor from Kapoor and Company. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So what explains this increase in the employee cost, sir? It is now closer to 99 crore for the quarter.
You're talking about sequential quarter?
Yes, sequential quarter also and year on year also.
The sequential quarter, this considers that there has been an increase in the salary. Annual increments have been given. It represents the increase that was given to them. For the first quarter also, it has been given only in the second quarter because the appraisals got over only by June. So July, August, September includes the increments given for the first quarter as well as the second quarter.
Right. Sir, and can you give me the volume for quarter 2 last year?
Volume 22.50, 22.54.
22. So there is a 10% decline in volume year on year.
Year on year, there is an increase of 5%. 22.54 has become 23.70.
Okay, sorry. 22.5, and this year is 23.7.
Yeah.
Just a second, sir. 23. Okay. Sir, when we look at your other expenses cost and on that has also not been in proportion and has been rising on a sequential basis also and year on year basis also. So is this a variance?
On a sequential basis, it consists of majority is only on account of 2 items. One is with regard to some gold distribution that were done with sub-dealers in certain parts of North. 2 is repair cost has gone up marginally. These are the 2 major contributors to the increase on a sequential quarter.
I missed your point, sir. Distribution, your line was muffled.
See, we have a reward function for dealers in the form of distribution of gold, and this was done in Gujarat in the second quarter, and the cost of repairs.
Okay. Right, sir. So this will not be a recurring item for the next month. Can you quantify the absolute number?
See, the gold distribution was about, I think the total ANSP including gold was about 8 crores, and repair cost went up by about 6 crores.
8 and 6 crores. But sir, even for year on year, this has gone up by 30 crores. So 153 is move up to 188.
Yeah, because last year I don't think we had the gold distribution. This year we had the distribution was planned in the second quarter.
Correct. Fine, sir. And sir, regarding any other non-core asset sale and I think the land bank monetization which the company holds, what's the thought process, sir? And for this year, sir, what are the current maturities, the debt repayment that are scheduled as on 31st March 2020?
The land sale, as far as land sale is concerned, we have quite a few parcels which we are trying to sell. But till we get the right price, we are not going to sell it. That we are very clear about it. So it may take time. So I can't give you a timeline for this. As far as debt,
the total debt repayment for the year 23-24 is about 400 crores. We have still a balance of about 170-180 crores to be made in the second half. That is, I'm talking from November to March. About 130 crores is due and payable on 31st March. So between now and 31st March, we'll have about 70 crores of, 40-45 crores of debt repayment.
But if you could just give the numbers again, total debt repayment is 400 crores.
Correct. For the year 23-24.
23-24 is 400, out of which only 40 crores is left to be paid in the coming 6 months.
Out of which 400 has already been completed. Balance we need to pay will be about, more than 200 has been completed. Balance to be paid will be about 170 to 180. About 130 crores of the balance payable falls due on 31/3/2024.
Okay, and this payment will be again marked with our non-core asset sale only since we are incurring cash losses?
No, so see, till now we have been managing with whatever internal cash flows as well as whatever we have been getting by way of refund. Presumably we will do it, and we will going forward also it will be following the same practice.
Okay, thank you once again and all the best, sir, and season meeting and happy Republic to the team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants who wish to ask questions, please press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. Final reminder to participants that you may press star and 1 to ask questions. I would now like to hand the conference back to Mr. Vaibhav Agarwal for closing comments.
Yeah, thank you, Rio. Sir, just a couple of questions from my end. Sir, in your opening comments, you mentioned that the volumes for the quarter suffered because of lack of working capital. So supposedly, if this working capital problem has not been there, so what kind of volume you would have expected India Cements to do in this current quarter against 2.37?
About to do 9 lakh tons is quite easy for us.
So basically, sir, you were saying that we could have touched 2.7 kind of a run rate, but we have done about 2.37. So that is the gap probably hit by working capital. Is it fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah. And okay, sir, can you come again, please?
Okay, what you say is right.
Okay. And the second thing I wanted to ask you, sir, in the last call you had mentioned that that the BCG we have appointed as a consultant and they are about to come up with a final report on the improvements at the company level. So is the report there with you now? And sir, if you can highlight some of the steps initiated by them and what indications are there as to increment?
Our system is that every month they meet us and tell us what they are doing and what lines they are working on and what will be the benefit. It's not like they give a written report every month. So this is confidential to the company.
Understood, sir. Understood. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. On behalf of Phillip Capital, I would like to thank you for the call opportunity and many thanks for participants joining the call. Thank you very much, sir. Rio may now conclude the call. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Phillip Capital India Private Limited, that concludes the conference. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. You may now disconnect your lines.